Why Not, coupled in the wagering at 5-2, Bold Vigil scratch. Father Soren is 70-1 with Hawk and Wallner. Holy Arnie with the youngest driver in the race, Tommy Houghton, at 5-1. Coogee scratch. Normandy Lobel is at 25. The 6-horse with the oldest driver in the race, Doug Ackerman, at 99. Socrates Lobel has been scratched. Super Lamar is at 7-1, getting a lot of attention. Gentle Stroke is 9-1 with George Schulte. Speed Merchant, the even money favorite with Anthony Quartarolo. And completing the field, Money Hanover at 70-1. So here they come to the start of this first heat, first division in the Hambletonian.
They're off. It's Classic Cast out quickly on the outside. Holy Arnie is also out fast, and Why Not has gone on a break. Sandy Bowl moves up in between horses from third, and Father Soren is now fourth toward the inside. Speed Merchant is out fast, fifth on the outside, and toward the inside, Gentle Stroke is moving up. Going on a break there was Classic Cast. The field races round the first turn, and Holy Arnie is leading the pack by 2 lengths. Father Soren is second. Sandy Bowl is first over and racing third. Gentle Stroke toward the inside fourth. Then it's Speed Merchant now fifth on the outside. On the outside, it's Super Lamar now moving up to be sixth. Money Hanover is seventh toward the inside. Normandy Lobel is next, followed by Classic Cast. Far back and out of it now is Why Not. The opening quarter, 28-3, and the field moves up the backstretch. Holy Arnie is out there by 2 lengths. Father Soren is racing second. Sandy Bowl just off the leaders on the outside third. Gentle Stroke toward the inside is fourth. Speed Merchant continues to race second over. Money Hanover toward the inside is sixth. Super Lamar is seventh, followed by Normandy Lobel and Classic Cast. They're halfway home in 59 seconds flat. It was an easy second quarter for Holy Arnie. They head for the far turn. Holy Arnie breezing along with a 2.5 length advantage. On the inside, Father Soren is second by a head. Sandy Bowl begins to gain now on the outside from third. Speed Merchant is right there fourth on the outside. Toward the inside, Gentle Stroke has nowhere to go in fifth. Normandy Lobel moving up in the back of the pack. With Super Lamar's, they move by 3/4. Holy Arnie is going strong. The 3/4 mark, 1:28-4. At the top of the stretch, Holy Arnie has opened up a 3.5 length lead. They're in the stretch, and they've got Holy Arnie to catch. Now by 4 lengths. Sandy Bowl is giving chase in second. Speed Merchant is third toward the inside. Father Soren is coming on. And on the outside, it's Super Lamar. They come to the final 16th. Holy Arnie is gone on a break. He's off stride. Here's Father Soren on the inside. Super Lamar on the outside. And Gentle Stroke. Gentle Stroke getting up in the final strides to win this one.
So much to talk about. Holy Arnie going on a dramatic break, but Gentle Stroke nowhere to go early, but coming on in the final strides to win this one.
And it was unfortunate, Dave, because Tommy Houghton drove a perfect trip. He set mediocre fractions, a 3/4 slow, and 1:28-4. And you'll see the trotter just goes right on a break. He doesn't show making breaks on his form. Looked like he might have just dug his feet. Speed Merchant, a horse we thought would be very tough. He had no excuse, but splitting horses down the middle, Gentle Stroke, this was the early morning line pick to win the Hamiltonian beginning of the year. He wins it.
For George Schulte and the Happy Winner's Circle ceremony, the time of this heat, 1:57-4, and Gentle Stroke, wow, 21:40, 13:20, and 8:20, and Keystone Tripoli, 3-5, prohibitive public choice there for that entry. Keystone Shiloh at 99, Cornstalk is at 40. Giorgio D at 8-1, Crowning Point 5-2, Gallant Pro with the Pro Billy Houghton at 50. Then we have Historic Freight with Benny Webster at 9. Doc Spiegler is at 70. Delvin G Hanover at 60-1. Pathfinder 80-1. Desert Ruler 70, and Restless Spirit 45-1. Pathfinder, Desert Ruler, and Restless Spirit starting from the second tier. Here's Tom.
And they're off. Historic Freight is away quickly on the outside. Cornstalk is there toward the rail. Baltic Speed, he's also out fast right there in between horses, racing third. And then it's Keystone Shiloh now, fourth toward the inside. On the outside, Crowning Point is racing fifth. Desert Ruler came away sixth. Doc Spiegler is seventh. Pathfinder is eighth. Giorgio D is ninth. Restless Spirit is racing 10th by 2 lengths. Then it's Gallant Pro, followed by Delvin G Hanover, and the trailer is Keystone Tripoli. The first quarter goes in an even 29 seconds. Historic Freight will take the field into the backstretch. Cornstalk is second by 2 lengths. Keystone Shiloh is racing third. Desert Ruler toward the inside is fourth, and Baltic Speed is first over fifth, and he's followed by Crowning Point on the outside, now sixth. Pathfinder is 7th toward the inside. Then it's Doc Spiegler on the outside, now racing in 8th position, followed by Restless Spirit moving up on the inside from 9th. Giorgio D is next, then Delvin G Hanover, followed by Gallant Pro, and Keystone Tripoli is the trailer. They're halfway home in 58 seconds flat. Positions are unchanged toward the front of the pack. It's still Historic Freight leading the way. Cornstalk is still racing second, followed by Keystone Shallow third. And there goes Baltic Speed now making his move as they enter the far turn. He's now fourth and gaining ground on the leaders. On the inside, Desert Ruler is now racing in fifth, and Crowning Point has gone off stride. Crowning Point is on a break, and he's out of it now. They move to the top of the stretch. Here's Cornstalk now, out of the pocket and up to challenge Historic Freight. Baltic Speed poised for the final drive on the outside third. Then it's Keystone Shallow toward the inside fourth. They're by 3/4 in 1:27 and 2. In the stretch now, Historic Freight is digging in gamely. Cornstalk right there, second on the outside. Baltic Speed is put to a hard drive. He's trying to gain ground, and here comes Delvin G Hanover trotting strongly on the outside. Historic Freight at the rail. Delvin G Hanover gaining ground with every stride. Here's the wire, and Delvin G Hanover comes from far out of it to win it.
In 1:56 and 2, Tom, Delvin G Hanover looked hopelessly beaten at the top of the stretch. That's Delvin G about 4th or 5th in the back of the pack, but watch this stretch trot.
And looks like, Dave, we might have a Cinderella story. Historic Freight, he's been cutting all the fractions here with Benny Webster in the bike. We stated earlier in the season a 35,000 climber. Tries to cut the mile, but as you said, Dave, Delvin G Hanover was last at the quarter and comes storming home just to beat Historic Freight in the final step.
So it's Delvin G Hanover, Historic Freight, the third horse Desert Ruler, along with Baltic Speed, who was 4th, and Cornstalk 5th. Those 5 come back for the next division, and wow, look at the prices. Delvin G Hanover, who won at 182 to 1 in June, scores here and pays 126.20, 38.80, and 22.20. Tom Durkin has the call of this one. Second heat of the Hambletonian. If Gentle Stroke or Delvin G Hanover win it, then it's over.
It's Historic Freight out quickly for the lead. Toward the inside, Delvin G Hanover is out fast now, moving up on the rail to be second. Gentle Stroke came away fast early, now racing in third. Father Soren is 4th. And then it's Desert Ruler now, who finds a spot at the inside in 5th. Super Lamar is 6th. Normandy Lobel is 7th on the outside. Baltic Speed is 8th at the rail. Sandy Ball is 9th and beginning to move up now on the outside, and Cornstalk is the early trailer as the field moves to the quarter. It's Historic Freight in front, past the quarter in 29 and 3. Historic Freight now pressured from the outside by Gentle Stroke, right there second, and Delvin G Hanover is third toward the inside by 4 lengths. Then farther back, it's Father Soren 4th toward the rail, Desert Ruler alongside in 5th. Super Lamar is 6th toward the inside, Normandy Lobel is racing 7th. Then Sandy Bowl 8th on the outside, Cornstalk is 9th, and Baltic Speed is 10th. And last as the field moves to the half mile. The quarter went in 29 and 3, the half goes in 58 and 1. Historic Freight takes the field into the far turn. Gentle Stroke still parked out second. Delvin G Hanover saving ground all the way is now third toward the inside. On the outside, Desert Ruler now racing second over 4th. Father Soren is 5th toward the inside. Then farther back, it's Normandy Lobel now moving 3 wide for the final drive. Also moving up, it's Sandy Bowl on the extreme outside. Super Lamar is there toward the inside. Then Baltic Speed is 9th. And the trailer is Cornstalk as the field turns for home. They're off 3/4 in 1:29 and 1. Here comes Gentle Stroke on the outside to challenge Historic Freight, and those two are going all out now as they enter the stretch. Delvin G Hanover is third toward the inside. Desert Ruler trying to make up ground on the outside from 4th. Here comes Baltic Speed. He's coming from nowhere. There's a 16th to go. Historic Freight has the lead by a length and a half. Delvin G Hanover is second on the inside. Baltic Speed on the outside coming on from third. They're coming to the wire. Historic Freight in front, and he holds on to win it. Delvin G Hanover was up for second the final time.
Winning it on the engine in 1:57 and 3, Historic Freight and Ben Webster.
And this is what Historic Freight's been doing all year, cutting the mile right on the engine, as you said, Dave. The fella that really misunderstood the fact that Historic Freight would be around to finish was George Schulte, as he made an early move at the quarter to try and go first over. However, Historic Freight dug right in, wouldn't let him go. That was a factor, thinking that it might soften Historic Freight up. The horse that really showed a lot of clothes at the end got the perfect trip, Delvin G Hanover, but he still couldn't beat Historic Freight a gutsy mile.
And we are going to have a race-off with Historic Freight, Gentle Stroke, and Delvin G Hanover. But in the 10th race, here are the prices. The third heat. The 3 winners come back. And whoever wins this one is the Hambletonian winner, 1984. Delvin G. Hanover at the rail with Hawk and Wallner, 4-5, the favorite. They had an open draw for these three post positions. Number 2, Historic Freight, 6-5, second choice with Benny Webster. And Gentle Stroke, who won our first division first heat this afternoon, on the outside in post 3 with George Schulte, and the long shot in the field at 2.5 to 1. Who? So this is it, the finale, $1,219,000 on the wire, and there they go.
Hambletonian final, and they're off, and Historic Freight goes right after the lead. And Delvin G. Hanover now moves up on the rail to be second, and Gentle Stroke has settled into third as the field races into the first turn. Ben Webster has put Historic Freight on the lead and steps out now to a 2.5 length advantage. Delvin G. Hanover is racing second with Hawk and Wallner at the lines, and George Schulte has put Gentle Stroke in third position as they race by the quarter-mile mark in 29 2/5 seconds. And now they enter the backstretch. It's still Historic Freight leading the way. Positions are unchanged thus far. He's opened up by 3 now, and Delvin G. Hanover is racing in second. And then it's Gentle Stroke third. Positions unchanged as they continue up the backstretch. The first quarter went in 29 2/5 seconds, and Historic Freight still breezing along on the front end with a 3-length advantage. Delvin G. Hanover in no hurry at this point, as is Gentle Stroke, who remains third. The quarter went in 29 2/5 seconds, and they're halfway home in this final heat in 1 minute and 3/5. Historic Freight still on the front end with a 3-length advantage. Delvin G. Hanover still racing in second, and Gentle Stroke remains third as they race round the far turn. There's less than 3/8 to go in this Hambletonian, and Historic Freight still out there by 3 lengths, almost 3.5. Delvin G. Hanover now tries to close that gap in second, and Gentle Stroke remains third as the field moves by the 3/4 mark. Historic Freight is still there by 2.5 lengths. They're off 3/4 in 1:31.1 at the top of the stretch. Historic Freight still leading the way. Delvin G. Hanover is following in second. Gentle Stroke remains third, and he's tipping to the outside now. There's an 1/8 to come in this Hambletonian, and Historic Freight is put to the test now, and he's holding on by 2 lengths. Delvin G. Hanover is all out to try to catch him. 100 yards to go. Historic Freight in front and driving. Delvin G. Hanover has gone on a break, and that leaves the Hamiltonian to Historic Freight and driver Ben Webster.
In 1:59 3, third mile of the afternoon, second victory, and Historic Freight is our Hambo winner.
And this is the American dream right here, Dave, when you can take a 35,000 clamor and beat the best 3-year-old trotters and the Hambletonian. The key to the race was Benny Webster because he was able to set all the fractions. The closer in the race was Delvin G. Gentle Stroke we knew wasn't going to pull on him because he got burned in the other elimination. But give the credit to Skip Lewis and Benny Webster. They drove a perfect race as Delvin G just goes off stride.
The trophy for the Hambletonian, really the top trophy in the sport. The sport's biggest day here, and Historic Freight, there was win and exacta wagering only. Historic Freight paying $460. Gentle Stroke moved up into the place spot. Delvin G. Hanover on a break at the finish, placed third. The exacta paying $13.60. The Hambo winner, 1984, Historic Freight. Right after the race, I had a chance to jump down to the winner's circle and talk with driver Benny Webster and trainer Skip Lewis. Ben, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You had no choice but to go to the front?
Well, as it turned out, that's the only shot I had early, and I was looking forward to one of them fellows coming at me, and I would have probably let him go in the half, but it worked out just fine.
Ben, when you drove this horse in a claimer in June, did you know he was as good as he proved this afternoon?
Well, he was a green horse then. He only had just a few starts and didn't know really what he was. His manners weren't really good, and we just put him in there to get a race for him, and Skip's done a heck of a job with him and come a long ways, and just hope that and pray to God that we have another chance down the road.
Ben, how does this victory sort of stack up in your career?
Probably the all-time greatest. Just winning the Hamiltonian, it's one of the most prestigious races that any race driver, horseman could possibly win.
Right behind him is Skip Lewis, who is the trainer. Skip, what does the Hambletonian mean to you now?
Biggest thrill of my life. It's absolutely fantastic.
How about bringing this horse from a claimer right up and winning the Hambletonian?
Well, everything worked out for the best, that's for sure.
It sure did. And the plans now for this horse?
If everything is all right, we'll start him in the Zweig 2 weeks from today. then the World Trotting Championship.
Congratulations to Skip Lewis. We mentioned that $1 million plus purse this afternoon. Here are the 5 horses, or the actually the 6 horses, because there was a tie that share in it. Historic Freight, Delvin G, Hanover, Gentle Stroke, Father Soren, Baltic Speed, and Super Lamar. It's a rather complicated point system, but that's the summary order of finish for the Hambletonian this year.